Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is Amy L. And really, thanks for being with me. Today, I'm going to share with you my top 4 hints on how to start running, especially if you're overweight or you haven't run before. These are things I really wish I would have known before I started running. When I started, I had lost about 80 pounds. And then I decided I needed to start exercising. And for me, I really hated it. I really hated exercising, but I had this goal of I wanted to be able to run 1 mile without stopping. At that point, I couldn't run at all. I couldn't run for more than 10 seconds, and only then if I was being chased by a bear. Since that time, I've done 2 half marathons, and I still hate running. I hate running. I do it sometimes, especially if there's bling involved. And I really didn't know what I was doing when I started. And there's a lot of things I did wrong. So this could easily have been called the things I did wrong or what I wish I would have known before I started running. And listen, running might be for you, it might not be. But since we are on week 7 of our challenge, I thought you might need some new things to get you motivated. Before I launch into the top 4 tips for running, I'm going to give you your week 7 challenge if you've been following along with that. And hey, if you haven't been following along and you want to start, I'll try to link a video up in here or at the end so that you've got some place to start. For us, for week 7, we're just doing 3 days this week, 2 at 25, so building from what we were at last week, and then 1 day of 30 minutes. Next week is our last week, guys. And so we're going to get in our first 30-minute walk. So this is, if you're following with me, week 7, our training schedule. For everybody else, let's just jump right in. For my top 4, the first thing that I wish I would have known is that when you start trying to run, it's going to feel like your heart's going to explode and that your lungs are going to explode. And so you want to do it for short periods of time. So you should do intervals, and it's okay to walk. It's okay to walk. You've got to start somewhere. So if you want to do a 10-second interval of jogging, do it and then recover with a walk. Probably the best thing that I wish I would have known is tip 2. It's going to take you longer when you start jogging than when you're walking. Because if you're ready to start jogging, you're probably in pretty good condition with that, and you're probably walking at a pretty fast pace. What I want you to do when you start jogging is slow down. It's going to be slower than your walk. It really is. But you've got to get that motion, right? You've got to start getting that motion. And the only way you're going to do it is if you slow way down. So it's okay if the jogging is slower than the walking. You're just building the motion. Just like walking, you'll probably speed up the more you do it or the further we ask you to go. But when you start, you got to slow down. Slower than your walk should your jog be. Okay, so that's tip 2. The next tip is really just very, very practical because I'm all about that. When you start, you're going to be tempted to buy gear. Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything, especially if you're able to leave just from your house, because we're talking about very, very short, right? When you start, we're talking about maybe a mile that you're going to want to be trying to accomplish. You're going to be tempted to buy a running belt. You're going to be tempted to buy all of these different things. Don't do it. All you need is your key. That's really all you need is the key to your house, and just use your shoe. Instead of a running belt, just take your shoelace, pull one side out, put your key through the shoelace. Yes. Then relace it. Through here. And then your key to your house is secure, right? It's securely on there. And I just kind of tuck it back under the laces. Because when you just start, really all you need to do is have a key to your house or your car. If you've driven somewhere, don't worry about all the other stuff. If you're talking about a short trip, leave your water in the car. If you have a phone or something that you're going to be playing music, then that's going to be my next tip. But if you have an armband or you can stick it into your bra or your pants or something, that's fine. If it ends up being that you're going to run for a long time and you're going to try to do a 5K or a half marathon or a marathon, then you can start doing a running belt. And I've got some ideas on those, but you can get them very inexpensively, but don't start there. Start with just using key in the shoe, car key, house key, whatever it is that you need, and it'll be fine. Okay, but my last tip is about music. So running to music helps you to run faster and keep a pace. If you've ever done a workout video, a workout class, you know that they keep the beats per minute at a certain pace. They do that because our bodies want to move with that pace. You can use that to your advantage. It's something called beats per minute. Beats per minute. And it's just what it sounds like. It's how many beats there are in the music per minute. You can figure out this by yourself if you just counted the beats, right? For 15 seconds and then multiplied it by 4, that's going to get you pretty close to what the beats per minute of a song are. Most songs are between 60 and 200 beats per minute. But you want to figure out what song is going to be best for you for that workout. Because listen, have you ever had a song on and you notice that it's easier? It's easier to keep running and maybe even a little bit faster. It's probably because the beats per minute match or slightly exceed what your typical pace is. This is a great tip if you're trying to either slow down, like I asked you to earlier, or if you've been running for a while and you want to pick up the pace just a little. If you increase the beats per minute, your body's going to want to stay on the beat, right? So if you increase the beats per minute, it's going to help a lot. So here's some common beats per minute. If you are a walker and you walk at about 3 miles per hour. So a mile walking takes you about 20 minutes. So listen, if last week you did some 20-minute walks and you know that you did about a mile for each of those, then that's your pace. You do about 3 miles per hour and your beats per minute then would be about 115. That's what your beats per minute are. If you do a 3-minute mile, about 115, might be up to 118, but it's right in that range, about 115. The people who run super, super fast, the fast runners, they're at about 180 beats per minute. So your range is probably somewhere in there. For me, I'm happiest at about 140 to 160, unless I'm trying to do some speed work, and then I go faster. Here's some songs that you might know, and it might, if you can sing them in your head, you might hear the beats per minute. If you do an Adele song, like Rolling in the Deep, that's slower. That's about 105 beats per minute, right? So that's on the slow end. If you do something like Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling, that's at about 113. So if you are walking about 3 miles per hour, and you're looking for about 115, that Can't Stop the Feeling is probably about the pace that you're walking right now. It could be that if you want to start jogging, then taking it from 115 down to 113 might be the perfect pace for you to start jogging. Or if you're a little bit faster than that, that's going to be a good warm-up song for you as you move into something faster. So like if you do Happy, you know that song by Pharrell, the Happy song, that's 160. So that's going to be faster for you. So here's what you're going to do with all this information. You're going to figure out what songs sound best as you're walking or starting to jog. You're going to go on Google. You're going to find running lists for the appropriate beats per minute because it can speed you up or slow you down or make your run seem easier. Okay, guys, I hope that that helps. Those are my top 4 tips for your starting running, especially if you've never run before. I hope they're helpful. Please go ahead and click the subscribe if you want to ring the bell so you get notifications. I do these videos each Tuesday, and I can't wait to see you. Bye.